The Pittsburgh Steelers have not had a wide receiver with 1,000 yards since Antonio Brown in 2018, and it's been 5 years. That's longer than any other wide receiver in NFL history. The closest was the 1970s Dallas Cowboys, but they had a guy named Drew Pearson, and if you know anything about Drew Pearson, he was a legend. But that streak is over. It only took 2 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers to find their new Drew Pearson. Or maybe it was Amari Cooper. Just kidding. It's George Pickens. The rookie out of Georgia came into the NFL with high expectations. Many analysts expected him to be a big contributor for the Steelers right away. After all, he was a 5-star recruit who chose Georgia over Alabama and was named the starter opposite of George in Hollywood. But after an impressive training camp, Pickens suffered a lower body injury that caused him to miss the first 2 games of the season. But he was healthy enough to make his NFL debut against the Patriots in Week 2. And he did unjust play. He made an immediate impact. Pickens finished the game with 4 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. But it wasn't just his stats that impressed me. It was his rapport with Kenny Pickett. These two seem to be on the same page, which is rare for a rookie. It's like they already read each other's minds on this touchdown. For example, Pickens ran a simple out route, but he looked at the quarterback the entire time to make sure he had the best angle to get open. And when he saw Kenny Pickett looking his way, he made a subtle adjustment to his route, which caused the defender to stumble and fall. This allowed Pickens to get open in the end zone and make the easy touchdown catch, but that's just one play. On this next play, Pickens shows his physicality. He's able to win jump balls and high point the ball in traffic. These are things that we haven't seen from a Steeler receiver in years. In fact, the last Steeler receiver to consistently make these types of plays was Antonio Brown. It's almost like watching AB all over again. And I know that's a bold statement because AB is arguably the greatest receiver of our generation. But there are some similarities in their games, especially their physicality. Pickens is a big, strong receiver who isn't afraid to go over the middle or make tough catches in traffic. But he's also a different type of receiver than AB. He's not as fast, but he's bigger and more physical. If there's anyone who can break the Steelers' curse of wide receiver, it's George Pickens. Here's why. First of all, he's talented. He has the size, speed, and athleticism to be a #1 receiver in this league. But talent alone doesn't make you a #1 receiver. You also need to be able to run routes and make plays. And Pickens is already showing that he can do both. His route tree might be limited right now, but as he continues to grow and develop, he'll be able to run the full route tree. And when he does that, he'll be unstoppable. But even if his route tree stays limited, he'll still be effective because he's so physical. He can win jump balls and make tough catches in traffic. And let's not forget about his quarterback. Kenny Pickett is a big, strong-armed quarterback who can make all the throws. Yes, not afraid to push the ball down the field, and he trusts his receivers to make plays. In fact, he seems to trust George Pickens the most. There's a connection between these two that we haven't seen in Pittsburgh in years. The Steelers haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Antonio Brown in 2018, but that streak is over. It only took 2 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers to find their new Drew Pearson. Or maybe it was Amari Cooper! Just kidding. It's George Pickens. Make sure to follow for more great content.